Hello folks, welcome to the new edition of Reflections of the Rocker. And some people don't remember Game Show Todd, but this is the better part of LNP. When we used to do promotions for the all three of the Nightmare to Remember shows, the Wrestling 2 shows. We helped do the Friends for Friends of Susan Meeks, and also the Grappling for Grable, Joyce Grable benefit show that's raising money for her to help with her surgeries and health stuff. So yeah, welcome to this.
Thanks, sir.
It's been a minute since we've done this together stuff. So what is it? I got 5 questions. I'm gonna read them off, and just whatever it is, it's gonna be good, bad, indifferent. It is what it is. So the first one is, but prior to meeting me, what have you heard or thought of me, if anything?
Well, for me, see, I didn't know much about you. I was basically going to the shows in Cedartown. That's when I first caught wind of you and the wrestling. I had literally, started going up there when it was in the inception of it, when Frank Parrish was running it. And that's when I started seeing you, and I started, I think the frequency was once a month, correct me if I'm wrong. So I started going every month on that thing, and then I just started just watching you, and I was just very entertained by it. And then, like I said, the Cedartown was the first time I laid eyes.
That was Frank was bringing a lot of guys from and gals from the TNA era too, like that. He had, because he still had the connection with those people. And he brought AJ.
He had Kevin Nash. He had AJ. He had Velvet Sky. He brought in a lot of. DDP was there one night.
Correct.
And then Steiners were there, or Scott was.
Both of them, I think.
Ron Simmons.
Yeah, because that was the Ron Simmons retirement match, and I was involved with that one there. He did a lot of good shows there, and then of course the Willpower shows.
Right.
All right. So question number 2: how did our first encounter go?
First encounter was, I remember it. This was back in 2010. There was a show at Stars and Stripes from Dallas Highway, and basically we just kind of talked a little bit. I think at one of the Cedartown shows, you said, "Hey, we're gonna have one at Stars and Stripes. You ought to come out." And what I remember about that is when you got there, we somehow just locked up and talked. And next thing you know, in the night, I found myself sitting there talking to you, and we're breaking down the ring with the ring crew. I became part of the ring crew that night.
After all the years, I was paying my dues, and then he paid some dues right out of the gate, because it kind of led into something else.
And I specifically remember, because you said I don't normally do this.
Yep.
But he says, "I'm going to give you my phone number." He says, "We need to hang out sometime." He says, you said, I feel like there's just like a kinship, a brotherhood, and you gave me the phone number, and good Lord, the rest is history. It was 2026.
I'm very private, and especially I'm very protective of wrestling business. So a lot of times I interact with the fans, but it stayed at the show or on social media. But it was just something it felt right. And I was like, "Hey, here's my number." And then shortly after that, we went to.
That was the next thing we did. Was we were at 38 Special at Chastain Amphitheater.
So we're at the concert. So I disappeared for a minute. I come back and said, "Hey, grab your stuff. We're gonna go up back, hang out with Driving and Crying backstage." So we hung out with Driving and Crying, and got to jam out with 38 Special and concert, all that stuff. It was good stuff. What was your thoughts afterwards or takeaway from that first encounter?
I mean, it's just, you meet people in life, and you get a vibe, you get a connection. And I just, just like you were saying, there was just a connection, and I, didn't necessarily know what the connection was, but we just seemed like we'd known each other for a long time. And, we just started firing texts back together and to and from. And, like I said, we had a like mind when it came to music. We've seen the Eagles together. We've seen Driving and Crying together.
Many times. I mean, Guardians of the Jukebox.
Yeah, Guardians of the Jukebox. Shout out to Rich. Yep. Great band. And it's just, there was a lot of common interest. Of course, the core of it was wrestling, but as, we were talking earlier in the night, it's just, the wrestling's just become secondary to family. And it's just like, you're the older brother I kind of never had.
I was part of your wedding.
Yeah, actually, Terry officiated me and my wife's wedding when we got married. So that's how deep this runs.
Yeah. So we've done so much cool stuff with the wrestling. The Dirty White Boar tour in
Mobile, Alabama.
One thing I remember was after the one out of the Mobile reunion shows, it was you, myself, Kyle, Matthews, Jimmy wasn't there, Randy Rose, and Mr. Olympian Jerry Stubbs. We were sitting there watching. It was like street drag.
Yeah, it was that Friday night. They after we had the reunion, they had the drags. That family owned the drag strip right on the same property. So we were sitting out in the grass watching drag racing.
Random cars and motorcycles and probably hang out long enough. Probably saw a lot more, but it's just you sign a waiver, and you get to race.
Run whatever you run. Run what you brung.
Yeah. So we covered a lot of territories over the years, and still thankful that we're together. Question number 4: what was your favorite memory of us?
Oh Lord. Let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room. We today, I lived in North Georgia, and we had an experience together on one of the TED shows, and there is a road about 2 miles from my house that has a railroad track, and long and short of it is Terry and I discovered together what the Dukes of Hazzard feels like.
So we would, before the test, all 3 test shows, we were all staying the night with some of the other legends and everybody in town at the Villa Ricker. But we give that morning of the show, drive from there over to White, Georgia, where Ted is buried at, and we just kind of pay respects to Ted, ask for a blessing of the show, and keep everybody safe, and then we would come back to the shows. Well, that one, I don't know which one show it was, but it was Chip, you and myself, and we were going in, and
we're going to Ted's gravesite.
Yeah, and there's a real steep, I think I got some photos, a steep railroad crossing, and a little rough. And Chip's in the background, in the back seat. And he used some choice words, and you don't have the cojones to jump there all the way back.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's a dare.
So we went and visited Ted's gravesite, paid our respects, and then coming back,
asked Ted to keep us safe, and nothing bad happened to us. On the way back, I'm like, the old hell no factor kicked in. I'm like, nobody call me
yellow.
Wordy dirt. So I hammered down, and we hit the.
We hit the railroad tracks.
Jumped the tracks, and it was so bad that I had an FJ Cruiser that my racing gear, it was pretty heavy. It came airborne in the process of us coming airborne, and we hit and it slammed pretty hard.
No, he said airborne. All of us, including the car, were out of our seats.
Yeah. So we Dukes of Hazzard that bad mamma jamma. Then later on, I circled back and just kind of revisited that air stuff. And what looked like the tracks was here straight up and over, either direction, was actually straight up. On our side coming back, we jumped, has a little slight hook to it. And there's a big old gully.
It's a ravine.
Yeah, that's deep. Now, like
if one wheel had have gotten off the edge of that, the whole car would have gone.
We were done. Yeah. So, so we figured that with permission of God that Ted was our guardian angel, because as we went airborne, it's almost like somebody
nudged the car,
and it kind of went here and landed on the road like it needed to. Otherwise, like I said, we would have been done. We wouldn't be here. And when we revisited, like, dude, I was so dumb because I was in control of the car, but we were so freaking lucky that
we landed it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny, I wear my cool hat. It's not quite Smoking the Bandit, but I guess it could be Smoking the Bandit too. But
yes.
It was very lucky and very dumb, and we revisited today stuff. I'm like, they changed the look. It's not as bad, but
there's still a ravine.
Oh my God, yeah. So hopefully the photos will do it a little bit justice, but yeah, that's the only time we did that.
Yeah.
So I learned to let my pride not to override my mind and the old hell no factor.
Yeah.
So and the last questions, and sometimes it sound like me, but I've been doing these videos just so my family members, my grandkids, my son, and other people like that kind of get to know other stories than other ones I'm telling, but like from people like yourself that's been through my history, so you get to tell your side of the story, and just kind of be like you, sometimes, but it is what it is. It's just
the biggest thing about Terry is, if y'all don't know anything about Terry, just from the mindset, is he's got a great mind for the business. The TED shows conceptually on paper, I mean, Terry took every one of these shows and everything that the LN promotions that we did together, Terry put everything together on paper, and it was like sheet music. Everything flowed. Everything was beautiful. Everything was laid out. We knew the talent that we wanted. We needed to know the times, the matches, how we were going to do it, the order. And, Terry just fires it off. I mean, there's just no...
So all the actual verbiage post was him. I have the mind, but he's like the hallmark. He makes everything look nice and pretty. He like takes my country speaking of fur and ye and me, something that actually makes it sound very professional.
Yeah.
That was all Todd. So it's a good work relationship. I had the vision, and he cleaned it up and put it in.
Yeah, I mean, and that goes back to us just working together with it. I mean, there was a common denominator, but just like for no short term, the word, like just brothers, we just clicked. Everything just rapid fire.
True equal partnership.
We'd throw ideas, and
Yeah.
if something would stick, we'd agree on it. If something wasn't going to stick, we'd say we'd take it out. I mean,
it was fun that God put him. He knew what needed to happen, so he knew that I needed this and wanted to keep me in line and keep things moving. So that, so all the posts was pretty much was done by Todd, and I fed him what we needed to cover, and he made it look very professional, and it was a true promotion and partnership stuff. So
yeah, those were the fun days. But I mean, now we both have families, and we're still doing this after all these years. We just got back from a show tonight in Rome, Georgia.
People still pay me to wrestle and pay to come see me wrestle, stuff like that.
So it was good to kind of get back in the saddle tonight. And I mean, the biggest thing you can take out of any of these things is I didn't really gain a friend. I gained a brother that I never had. And I mean, the Ellen promotions aside and everything, it's just, I trust Terry with my life, and anything that goes with it, I just, the wrestling's great, but it just boils down to family in the end.
It started with wrestling and ended up with family.
Yeah.
The last question is what's your current thoughts and feelings about us?
Oh Lord, I mean, nothing. I think it's just we're brothers. It's just that plain and simple for me. I don't, we talk every day.
16 years later.
16 years later, we text every day.
We're still doing this.
Every day.
Not face to face, but we're still communicating.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
Every day we hear from each other, tell each other we love the other person. And, like I said, it was kind of nice tonight. Hit back on the road and just kind of relive it.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Love you, brother.
Thanks for putting us out. All right, I'm about to close this out. As Poops and Pops like to say, peace, love. See you down the road.